Hello everyone, welcome. We're going to be talking about a big storm that could be bringing severe weather to the plains in the south on the 29th and 30th. Alright, so looking here in the northwest, we can see there's a big trough. This will bring some cold and dry air as it starts moving southeast. On Monday, we'll see this finally start to get introduced into the plains, and this is where we'll see that storm development happen as this trough moves in. And then the rest of the week, this will continue up northeast, bringing colder weather to the rest of the states. All right, looking here at our moisture, we can see that there's some Gulf moisture up here sitting in the plains. As we see that trough come in and bring that cold, dry air and introduce it into the warm, moist air, we'll see that mixed together, and that sinking cold air will wedge itself under that moist air and force it upwards, and it'll condense. So right here, this little pocket will be an area for storm development as that dry line kind of spearheads through. And then this trend will continue the rest of the week. We'll see this dry line continue to get bigger and push all of that moisture out of the U.S. This is going to be a similar setup to what we're going to see tomorrow on Thursday. Same thing going on. All right, looking at our reflectivity here, we can see that on Monday in the afternoon, we can see some storm development up here in Texas and Oklahoma. And then moving to 7 p.m. in the evening, you can see that the storm start to get a lot bigger, and it starts to stretch a further span. We'll see this go all the way up to Wisconsin and all the way down to Texas. As we move into Tuesday night, we'll see the storm get a lot more severe and a lot bigger as it starts tracking across the U.S. heading east. As we move into Tuesday afternoon, we'll see the remnants of the storm head for states like North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and parts of Florida. And then we'll see the storm kind of sit there for the rest of Wednesday, and then it'll finally move on into the Atlantic, where it'll re-strengthen and probably go hit Bermuda or something. All right, we're at the wrong day here. Okay, so looking at our temperatures here, on Sunday we do have some pretty hot temperatures. We could be seeing 70 degrees in the south here, low 50s, mid 40s up here in the mid US. Moving into the peak of Sunday, we'll see those high 70s kind of shine through there, and then we'll see consistent 70s and 60s throughout the southern plains and the rest of the south. As we move on to Monday, it'll also just get a lot hotter. We'll see this push up even more north. We could see parts of the Ohio River Valley get hot, even up to some of the Great Lakes area. And then as we move through Wednesday, we'll see this cold front come through, make everything a lot colder, and we'll see down to below freezing and consistent 50s for the rest of the south. But then the following week, on New Year's, we'll see the temperatures rise back up to the 60s and low 50s. Alright, that's all I have for today. I hope this helped kind of clear up some things on some severe weather that could be happening later in December. We're going to be seeing some pretty high temperatures, so watch out for that. It's going to get pretty hot. Alright, I'll see you later. Have a good day.